Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Leonardo Simple G, and it's been really hard to get back into doing videos this year. I mean 2021 was hard enough, but 2022 getting into 2022 has been real problematic. I'm having problems with my schedules, I'm having problems with my PlayStation. So back into the videos it's been a struggle, but I'll try to do at least one video a week, and maybe smaller videos in between, but at least one a week I'll try to do. So anyway, there's not what you're here for. You're here to talk about Dauntless. Now, the beginning of the year, Dauntless, as I've already put the videos last week, and now I want to talk about what I want for Dauntless in 2022 and what I think is missing. I mean, literally missing, fundamental things that are missing in Dauntless. Now, first of all, what I want for Dauntless in 2022. Really, I don't want much. The game for me is kind of stalemate, it's kind of stalling. I do enjoy playing it occasionally, but it's not like it used before. It doesn't grab me as much as it did before. I like to play a little, 10, 20, 30 minutes and then leave. I really don't want to be too engaged in the game except for finishing some rumors that I'm doing. But, I'm taking it easy because I'm just tired of the game. I'm tired of the rumors. Whatever they put, they've put some solid content at the end of the year. But right now, I'm just, going through the motions. So what I really want to see in 2022 is just Radiant escalation. It's just one of those things that's missing. I mean, they did put the Carnivore Paragon breaks, and it was cool at the beginning, but now, it's missing. It's the final element that's missing. That ain't neutral, but I don't think we really need neutral. So to fight the Carnivore with all the perks and everything, and there'll be no Radiant behemoths, variant behemoths. They already spoke about that. But Radiant escalation really where it's at. Another thing that I would like to see is, in the training grounds, the different dummies having different elements. You can have one neutral and the other ones have a fire and ice, so you can try out the builds against them a lot better. It's just instead of just being one dummy for all. No, it's just one type of dummy for everything. But that's just, just being nitpick. What I really want to see in 2022 is Radiant escalation. Now, what I would also like to see is some features that are absolutely missing in Dauntless. Now, some of them are not fundamentals, and I'll talk about this first, but some of the ones I'll talk at the end are absolutely fundamental. Now, things that are missing in Dauntless right now. First of all, Ramsgate map has no fast travel. I mean, they put in a map which wasn't really necessary because it's really small. Ramsgate's not that big, but then they don't put fast travel in it. I mean, I play Warframe. Warframe, all the hubs that have fast travel. It's not, it's not a necessary must-have thing, but it'll just be nice to have. And speaking of maps, one of the things that is obviously missing in the game, and I've spoken this right at the beginning when I started playing the game, is island maps. I mean, like Ramsgate, they're not absolutely necessary. It's cool for us to explore and walk around the islands to get the feeling about how they are. But, if you did it for Ramsgate is so much smaller, why not do it for the islands, to know where the vents are, where the enemies spawn, and all that. So I think that'll be a lot better. Also, once you find all the discoveries that are in some islands, they'll be, permanently marked there. That'll be also cool. I mean, it's not a must-have thing, but it will be nice to have that. Another thing that would be nice to have, and I've spoken this on previous videos, is a way to view other players' buffs in escalation. Now, we do have a message at the bottom left that tells us what they got, but after the second island, you really can't read anything unless you activate the chat window and read it. Many people play without the chat window. I would like to see atop their health bar to see the buffs they have chosen. So imagine if I want to choose squad goals, I can immediately see how many people already picked it up, if any picked it up, so I can interact with that a lot much better than just having text and having nothing. We already see, the omni cell that they have chosen, which is, I think it's nice. It's a nice feature. It's not really valuable for the interaction of the group, but it's nice to have. So why not have the buffs on escalation there, especially now they're going to have ready escalation. Lastly, in this, not so necessary but really cool feature they could have is the legendary helmets should reset after you kill the behemoth. I mean, they were introduced back when you had Pursuit, which is you went to the island to fight one behemoth and then come back to Ramsgate immediately. So the Dark Helmet, the Umbra Helmet, and the Radiant Helmet, the Radiant Helmet actually, did a revive and puts a shield. and the Umbral helmet increases. You become this Umbral forma, and your damage is increased by 100%. These are really cool features. Unfortunately, they are only activated once on the island. On any island that you have, whether it be escalations or being hunting grounds, it only activates once. To activate it again, especially on the hunting grounds, you need to call on, the stash, the little safe that, replenishes your potions and all that. And I don't think this should work like that. I mean, we have legendary abilities on weapons that have a cooldown. First of all, they didn't have a cooldown. They were just used once and then never again. Now they have a cooldown, which is very cool. And the cooldown actually resets once the behemoth is killed. Now, why don't the legendary helmets do this? I mean, it makes no sense to me. It is illogical to me to have a legendary helmet that works once on the entire run and then never again. I mean, they should really change it. I won't say it's fundamental because it's not in all the builds that people use in, you have legendary weapons and omni cells and all that. But I think it should be in there. Now, the fundamental features that are missing on Dauntless are these. First of all, put the parts in the Behemoth journal. Put the parts that each Behemoth drops in the journal. Many times, so many times, quests and rumors ask us, okay, break X parts, X number of these parts. And I have no idea what these parts are. I have no idea where to find them. So what I do, I have to go to the forge, select several equipment, and then find the part that I need. Oh, it's for this behemoth that I have to fight. But it's not told to us, and especially in the nerd journal where you have, the description of all the behemoths, where they came from, that lore, and how to fight them. There's no list of parts. I mean, it makes absolutely no sense. This is a fundamental thing for the game, for players coming in, and players that are already in the game when new behemoths drop. You need to have a list of parts and where to find them. That's it. That you should put that in the journal just to help players. It's a fundamental feature that is missing. Another fundamental feature that is missing is you cannot see how many parts you've broken or gather in the hunting grounds. You just can't. I mean, another thing that makes no sense. You're maybe farming heavy behemoth and you need like 10 parts. So you fight them over and over and over and over. And then you want to see, okay, how many parts do I got? Do I have 10? Do I have 6? Do I have 7? Do I continue to hunt this behemoth? Do I pass to another one? You activate it, and there's no way to see it. There's no way to see how many parts or resources you've gathered on the hunting grounds. And that, to me, makes no sense. I mean, you have to be able to see your progress. I mean, how many parts do I gather? How many minerals or plants you've gathered if you need to gather them? You have no way of seeing this, and this is a fundamental thing that every game has, and Dauntless still doesn't have it. They put it on the grounds and they don't put this feature. I mean, you can activate it to see the window at the end of the behemoth that you fight, or maybe at the end of the event, but not at the full length of your run, which to me makes no sense. And last, but certainly not least, a small thing, a really small thing that should be there from the beginning: slots names. I mean, our loadouts are so diversified. I have the loadouts for stagger. I have loadouts for hammers. I have loadouts for wound. I have loadouts for fire. I have loadouts for cold. And I cannot put a single name on them to say, okay, I use this loadout, for instance, for Umbra escalation. Or I use this loadout for... So I have to remember that, because I cannot write on the slot's name, Umbra escalation or carnivore, or breaks, or womb, or something like that, to remind me what the hell the things are. Because we have so many cosmetics. When you put all of the cosmetics on top of the perks that we also choose for the armor, we absolutely lose track of what the hell is going on there. I mean, if I stop playing for I stopped playing for 2 weeks. Once I got back, I was like, okay, what was the build that I was using to stagger the carnivore? I have no idea. Okay, what was the build that I was using to break the parts? Because I needed parts from Savit, and I had no idea to see this. So these are the fundamental things that are missing, and they should really try now this year in 2022 to implement these things in the game. That's all I really think about Dauntless for 2022. If they put these things in, they will not only be quality of life insurance, but they also get players to have a more easygoing experience with the game, which is not in the best position right now. So that's been the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. And as always, have a great game, guys.